Okay, so in the last video I said that I had built this ancient causeway to connect Belghast to other areas. Basically, Belghast had gotten stale. I'd gotten tired with what I was doing there, and a lot of what I was building was pretty much experimental, so I set out and simply built to the horizon. So I started building this road off into the distance using the shift trick to build off the edge, and my plan was to just continue building until I hit something interesting. And I built and I built and I built, and based on the number of rails that I used, this tunnel or this sky road is between 250 and 300 blocks long. Anyway, so off in the distance I saw this giant mountain, and I knew that was what I was looking for. And I dubbed it Mountain Kraken, because it kind of reminded me of the old Clash of the Titans stop-motion Kraken kind of looming out of the distance. Anyway, we're just about to pass the complex that I've dubbed Veldridge, and we'll explore that later. And we're still on my powered minecart, and coming up on what has been dubbed Castle Kraken. If you can look, you can see the underlying mountain, but at this point I've built so much stuff onto the edges of it. Minecart system's just about to dock, and I will hop out. We'll explore the porch stuff later. But here's the main ladder system that goes up into the castle. I decided I wanted to build my structure on top of the mountain, and first step was to flatten out the mountain. So I extended it out in each direction and began to build. Built several rooms, continued building up each structure on top of the next. It's kind of Spartan up here. I haven't really done much to decorate it. I kind of liked the fact that it was monolithic. I've put a bunch of bookcases just because I like the look of the bookcase model. And now we're up to the top row. Each corner has a parapet, and at this point we're up above the clouds, so it's not really like there's much to see up here, but this is actually truthfully the top of the map. I tried to put torches on top of these parapets, and I could not build any higher. The game engine wouldn't let me. So if we come over to this side, there is a ladder system going up, and there's a room up here. And my plan was to make this a storehouse for whatever the rarest mats I had. Right now there's really not anything stored up here. Those were the buckets I used to lava, or put in the lava cascade that's on the outside of the castle. From up here you can see the path leading off in the distance and Veldridge. So, and this is the annoying thing about a castle, is as the clouds come in, they intersect the floors and make it hard to see. So, now I'm going to go down another floor, and we'll take the walkway, which is a relatively new structure. I really like to just harvest everything out of my structures, so I built this defensive tower, connected to the main complex. And really there's not much in here. Idea for this is to eventually have this also protected storage. So we continue to go down. We're going to eventually descend back into the mountainside. And now we have these balconies that are cut out from the rock face on the back side of the mountain. You can see the back courtyard. This was all one giant hill that I cleared, and there's a stepped off area leading back down to the ocean. Over here there's a little grotto area with a fountain. I'll go down there and explore in a bit. This was a semi-natural cave system that I found that I continued just to finish off. But everything just kind of intersects. You know, from over here I can outlook the Sky Road. Yeah, screw the ladder, I'm just going to jump down. Okay, so I've got all these rooms that really don't do anything. I'm notorious for building things that really don't go anywhere. And you can go back up. And now we're on the upper crafting level. I decided, I needed a crafting tier that was easily accessible out here. And this is actually all fairly new. That's the area I just came from. There's an infinity pool to get water from. Several chests. And this was just all area that I decided to start hollowing out. And as you go through here, you can see these just massive rooms. And the idea is just to kind of connect everything up. And this is a central corridor that goes from the base of the mountain all the way back up. It also connects all the balconies. So if I continue up, that's a path that goes up into the castle. But if I continue downwards, you end up with the main crafting depot for Kraken. And this was one of the first things I built. It's convenient on base floor. You can see this is the base level. The pond that's from above. I thought it'd be cool to spell out the names Kraken in lava. With this texture pack, it doesn't really look as impressive, but and that will be explored in another video, because that is the way to get to Veldridge. If you continue down this path, it leads all the way down to bedrock, so that's why I have a minecart. Just as a fast way to get there. I started branch mining down there. Hasn't been all that successful. I pulled, I don't know, probably about 30 diamonds from it. It's another storage area. A nice little overlooking area on the back side of the lava. If you come in here, it is labeled as Death Chamber Monster Farm. And I spent ridiculous amounts of time building this thing. As you can see, chamber is extremely dark. What you have is a very, 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 very long chamber. And we'll go out there real quick. Since we're on peaceful mode. And the idea is stuff spawns along here, ends up getting into the water, and gets carried to the front, and either bounces up along the cactus and kills itself, or drowns itself. And this is the top tier, and we'll go look at the bottom tier in a bit. So let me go ahead and plug this hole for when I put it back on normal mode, because I don't want my shit leaking back out. Okay, so this water that you see right in front of me is carried down from above. So literally, if you stand right here, you get stuff carried from this cavern and above that flows around and you collect. And over the course of 30 minutes, you'll get a stack of arrows, a stack of gunpowder, materials at the wazoo. But you can see it's the same basic structure. Really long corridor, sloping water, ends up into a drowning pool area with cactus guarding it in case they start bouncing. Ooh. It's one of a handful of monster farms I have. There's enough light to keep stuff from spawning in the friendly area, but you don't want too much because you do want stuff to spawn in the cavern. Okay, so that's like a quick tour of the complex. We'll go into the back courtyard. While I was clearing this, I stumbled upon a monster dungeon. If you come up here, you can see the spawner block. And this one spawns skeletons. So, same thing. When this is on normal mode, skeletons will spawn, we'll go forward, fall down here, and you can come down here and sit safely in the pool and collect arrows. This is an area that I found while clearing. I'll probably want to open it up a little bit more. This is the water fountain I was talking about. I just thought it looked natural. And now we have our path to the sea. And this area is all lit enough that stuff doesn't really spawn here, so I can come out here and hunt relatively safely because nothing really spawns on me. And this is pretty much the edge of what I've done in this area. I plan on doing something along the coast, but haven't decided what yet. Anyway, so that is the Castle Kraken complex.